We also ran from the modern era, from the post-war celebration series, the Wabash F3 freight set, which is a really nice runner and it sounds just great. It has the operating searchlight that spins around and it really is a lot of fun on layout. The first 2460, which was introduced in 1946, I believe, is the only year it came in that with that light gray cab. And then they fairly quickly changed it to black, and you see those for 47, 48, 49. Oh, that 2357 caboose, that was one of a couple rare cabooses that were introduced in 1947. But most of the 2357s are brown or Tuscan. Few of them came in red, bright red, and they are very hard to find and go for a fair amount of money also. Really started out more of a collector, except I always had a small layout. Originally, when our boys were young, that was the excuse. You know, it was a layout for them, although it really was for me. And after they were grown and gone, then obviously I had to give up the charade of having it for the kids, and it really was for me. But I enjoy both. My collecting days are dwindling because I have most of what I really want. Obviously, there's tons of trains out there I don't have, either pre-war or post-war, but I don't need everything. I pick the things I really like, and over 30-some years, I've found most of them. So now I get more pleasure actually out of operating what I have. My wife is very tolerant of my collecting and my involvement in the hobby, and that's a trait greatly to be admired in train collector wives. The Blue Comet, I guess, is certainly one of my favorites. I think the 1946 Berkshire set, which has some wonderful cars, is one of my favorites. Also the fact that I have the boxes, all the boxes for it, it's in pristine condition. That makes it somewhat special to me also. I have two ZW transformers that run. I have three separate tracks. I run 3 trains at one time. Then I have a separate pre-war or 1940s Z, which I use just for accessories and the lights. And I love to turn the room lights off or way down low and just have it an evening scene, just the lights from the layout. It's really kind of special, I think. I see a lot of interest in trains, even among younger kids, but the future of collecting, I think, is a little bit dimmer. People today want trains just the way people in the 1940s and 50s wanted trains as toys to play with. They don't want to spend a fortune on them. They want all the modern features. And let's face it, the old trains, while we who grew up with them love them, they don't have the modern electronics. And so they're of less interest to a lot of the younger people. So I think the collecting trains is on a downtrend. But the interest in trains, I think, will hold up. It'll just change. Go with what you really like. Don't, if not too many years back, people bought trains because they thought they were investments. Well, they were investments for a while. And, well, I've got to have that one because it's rare. Don't worry about that anymore. This is a hobby. It's for fun. It's not a business. Go with what you really like.
KCS 4655, do you copy?
Roger that, Kansas City Southern 4655. Read you loud and clear.
Please start up and stand by for track orders.
KCS 4655, I'm starting up the engine.
Here are the steps for installing either the Teledyne uncoupling or magic electrol features in some Lionel locomotives. Early post-war diesel switchers, including NW2 number 624, are ideal candidates for installing the Teledyne feature because it doesn't have a horn and it does have electromagnetic couplers. A simple DC whistle relay will be installed in the locomotive. Lionel whistle relays usually cost between $20 and $25. The diagram provided in Lionel's service manual under the whistles and horns section illustrates the wiring connections. Color-coded wires help identify the hot from the ground. Generally, red wires are used in locomotive connections that come directly from the center rail. After the 3 basic wires have been soldered to the relay, it can be mounted on a bracket. Because the center rail, or hot, electric feed is needed to operate the couplers, the whistle relay must be insulated from the ground flowing through the locomotive frame. I fashioned a simple plastic piece for the relay to hang from. This will be attached to the locomotive shell. Now connections are made from the relay to various points inside the locomotive. The red wire is soldered to the center rail feed on the E unit. The wire from the contact tab of the relay is soldered to the electrocouplers line. If you can't fit the insulation sleeve back over the soldered point, use a wire nut to insulate and hold the connection. After the remaining black wire is connected to any metal part of the frame for the ground feed to the relay, the shell can be secured to the frame. Now the electrocouplers can be activated anywhere on the layout without the need for a remote control track section. All you need to do is press the whistle button. This application is perfect for switching operations on sidings and yards. To install the magic electrol feature, we'll use this 625 switcher. Again, it doesn't have a horn, but the frame was stamped for a number 601-55 horn bracket. We had an old damaged one, so we cut the horn off from it with a Dremel. The bracket is pressed down into the slots and over the tabs. The tabs are then slightly twisted to hold the bracket in place. Because horns had to be insulated from the locomotive frame, you'll have to add a ground source to the relay. I used an eyelet connector and soldered the other end of the wire to a contact tab on the bracket. Lionel's service manual again provides an easy-to-follow wiring diagram. A wire is soldered to a tab on the relay and to a contact point on the E unit. A red wire is soldered to a power tab on the relay and the center rail contact point on the E-unit. And that's it. Now when the relay is activated by pressing the whistle button, the E-unit will step through a forward, neutral, reverse cycle. Remember that the E-unit lever must be in the off position. This feature now enables you to independently control the direction of this locomotive on the same track as a conventionally operated locomotive.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you next time in Lionel Nation Part 7.
Everyone loves that clickety-clack coming down the track. They can't ignore that all aboard and smoke pouring out the stack. Hear that whistle blow as the train pulls out of the station. It's clear to me, oh can't you see, it's a Lionel Nation. Clouds of smoke are rising high into a big blue sky. Down the line, right on time, a train is rolling by. Everyone turns around and stares in anticipation. It's clear to me, oh can't you see, it's the Lionel Nation. Shining gleam, that mighty sound and steam. Pistons pound around and round, just like in a dream. Another train pulls in and arrives at its destination. It's clear to me, oh can't you see, it's a Lionel Nation. It's clear to me, oh can't you see, it's a